Hi, it's Thursday Thoughts. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite drummers and how I actually heard about this drummer in the first place. And the drummer is Terry Bozzio. And around 1978, I believe it was, a friend of mine from high school named John Knopfsinger turned me on to this album called Metal BeBop by the Brecker Brothers. And I was just floored. Now, first off, I had heard of the Brecker Brothers before. And heard some of their tunes like Some Skunk Funk and Sponge and whatnot. And they had a few albums that had been out, maybe 2 or 3 albums prior to that. And I was just floored by the fact that to me, that's what I considered fusion music at the time. And to hear playing the traditional trumpet and saxophone instruments, but putting them through wah-wah pedals and effects and stuff that guitar players normally would, it really created unique sounds to me, and it just got to something that I found really interesting to listen to. But the energy of the Heavy Metal BeBop album really floored me, and the drummer was Terry Bozzio. Now I believe that I think it's East River, which has vocals and stuff on it. There are extra, it's Alan Schwartzberg or something. He might be actually playing some extra stuff on there and whatnot. But there's a good portion of the album that is live. And this drummer, Terry Bozzio, had played with Frank Zappa and, of course, Missing Persons, but I didn't know that at that time that he had played with Missing Persons. I didn't know that till the 80s, until I got into that band. But anyway, I just heard this tremendous blend of not only rock and jazz to this fusion sound, but also the sound of the drums was just amazing. And some of the licks that he played and whatnot, it just seemed so improvisational and playing across the bar line and doing fills that came out in strange places. And I was just like, man, these guys are just amazing and whatnot. So that was my introduction to Terry Bozzio. It's still one of my favorite albums. And of course, I do have the album, but I did actually buy the CD when it came out as well. And it's on my iPod and stuff like that too. So yes, I still use an iPod. So I believe in paying for the music, not streaming it and something and not getting their just due, but that's another thing. So anyway, to this day, I still listen to it. I still try to tell people, oh, you should check this out. You should check this out. Some Skunk Funk, Squids, Sponge, East River, Funky C, Funky Do. I'm sure I'm leaving something out. Just tremendous drumming by Terry Bozzio, again, and it's live. And it's just, I can't describe it enough that it's that engaging to listen to. And then, of course, through that album, it connected me, or introduced me to Terry Bozzio, to where I did try to find out more about him and found, oh, he played with Zappa. Okay, let's check that out. And again, I had heard of Frank Zappa and I knew he had drummers. I didn't know Bozzio had played with him. I think there's a great YouTube clip of him playing Baby Snakes, where he's doing a big drum solo and whatnot. And then, of course, I think Mental Hopscotch tune by Missing Persons, which at the time, Terry and his wife, Dale, was a singer. It was a kind of I guess a lot of people would call it a new wave type band or something, but musically, they weren't your typical new wave band. And of course, Terry Bozzio on drums. And he had this kit, a big double bass kit, but he had all rototoms for the drum set. And I was like, wow, it was really cool. I think, I can't remember the name of the album. I know there's a tune called Destination Unknown and whatnot. And then, of course, through that, Terry played with a group called UK. And then, it seemed like he kind of did a few studio things. I know he did some stuff with Andy Taylor, Duran Duran and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, there's another, I think it's Jeff Beck's Garage, I think, that Terry Bozzio's on there with It's a great, great thing, great CD. But then he kind of went to this solo drum route for a while and created this massive set and played these melodic drum solos and all that. And, you know, kind of created a new identity and stuff for himself, where he was always a fantastic player and stuff. But, you know, that was my introduction to Terry Bozzio, who's still one of my favorites, and oftentimes will just blow me away. And I've heard, you know, and seen him in concerts and clinics where famous jazz drummers were sitting there with their jaws on the floor at some of the stuff that he was creating and whatnot. So there's definitely something we can all learn from Terry Bozzio, even if it's creativity and sounds and stuff like that. But he's definitely one of my favorites, and to me, kind of often imitated but never truly duplicated. And I think that, you know, I'm not sure what he's doing at the particular moment in time, but I know I have a DCI instructional video I can watch at any time. Obviously, there's a ton of stuff on YouTube these days and whatnot, but I still will be scrolling through and I'll hit Heavy Metal BeBop and let it play and just be floored every time. So the thought for the day, or the drummer of the day, is Terry Bozzio. Do yourself a favor, check out him drumming with the different things he's drummed on, but also check out his drumming on the 1978 release by the Brecker Brothers called Heavy Metal BeBop. Trust me, you won't be disappointed.